When God had made the beast of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind, and had seen that it was all good, he said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. In spite of man's disobedience to God and his fall into sin, about 4,000 years later, James could still report that every kind of beast and bird, of reptile and creatures of the sea, is tamed and has been tamed by mankind. It's obvious to the most casual observer that man has attributes of creativity, ingenuity, intelligence, and moral consciousness to a completely different degree to that of the rest of the creation. We can see, in one way after another, how mankind is stunningly different to the rest of creation. Man is able to communicate with great precision his thoughts, feelings, ideas, and discoveries. The language he uses for this is rich, complex, and versatile. He is able to express his aspirations, dreams, and experiences using the spoken and the written word, in paintings, in dramas, in films, in song, mime, poetry. In contrast, the other creatures can communicate in very limited ways, by such means as squeaks, grunts, croaks, growls, gestures, and scents. Only birds come close to being able to make the complex sounds which are necessary for speech. And although some birds can mimic human speech, they have very little understanding of what the words and phrases they utter actually mean. Whales appear to be closest to man in being able to communicate. They do so by sounds transmitted through the water. But this falls very far short of the speech of man. Man can make clothes so that he can live and work in different climatic conditions. Man can tame swift creatures to carry him at high speed. He can tame strong creatures to help him with heavy work. He can devise ways of flying like the birds, of swimming like the fishes. Man can make amazing buildings for all kinds of use. Man can convene meetings at venues specifically designed for such meetings. He can make music in ways which no other creature can. Man can make equipment to experience totally foreign environments. He can explore the depths of the sea. He can travel across the world far faster and higher than the strongest, fastest bird. He can go into space where no other creature would have the slightest chance of going unless man transports it there. Man can leave the Earth and survive on a space station, reach the moon, and even explore other planets. And the most advanced of the rest of God's creatures can only look on in wonder. Man stands so far ahead of the rest of God's creatures that it presents a huge problem to those who want to believe that man evolved from something else, presumably something like a monkey. For many years, the story that man evolved from apes has been promoted by people who do not want to acknowledge God as the creator of all things. They've attempted to make monkeys look like men by dressing them up in clothes, teaching them to smoke cigars, drink beer, and do all sorts of things. But they will never be able to teach those monkeys, or chimpanzees, or gorillas, or anything else to read and write, to become a dentist, an engineer, surgeon, a businessman, to pilot an aircraft, or even to speak like a parrot. The aim of all this effort to pretend that man is not special, and not much different from other creatures, particularly the apes, is to deny that man is a special creation of God, and to make it look as if he could possibly have evolved from some other creature like an ape. Well, let's look at that idea next time. Thank you for joining me for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and press the bell so that you'll be notified as I release new movies. If you'd like to support this project, you're welcome to do so through Patreon. Find a link on my channel banner and in the description below.